So you thought Wales were doomed to failure at the World Cup without Rhys Webb, their best scrum-half. His well-documented exile has left many Welsh fans bemoaning who will be picked at number 9 for the tournament next year, but suddenly Warren Gatland appears to have options. Gareth Davies did well as Webb's stand-in during last autumn's internationals and this year's Six Nations, whilst against South Africa on Saturday night young Tomos Williams sparkled on his debut, scoring a try to mark the occasion and setting up the winner with his tenacity. Can the Cardiff Blues youngster pile on the pressure and emerge as Wales's first choice in Japan next summer? Andy Howell takes a look. Tomasz Williams, centre, celebrates Wales's win over South Africa with his Cardiff Blues pals Ellis Jenkins, left, and Gareth Anscombe, image, Hugh Evans Picture Agency. Where is Williams from? He was a pupil at Treorchy Comprehensive School and played for Treorchy RFC, gaining youth honours for Wales at international level. What's his pedigree? Williams was in the Cardiff Blues Academy and spent time starring for Pontypridd RFC in the Principality Welsh Premiership. He was first capped by Wales at under-20 level in 2013 as an 18-year-old and performed in the Sevens World Series the following year. And he made a real mark in the Under-20 World Cup in 2015, with defense coach Richard Hodges, who also fills the same role for the Blues, rating him as one of the best players in the world at that level. What's happened during his time as a Blues player? He made his debut for his home region 5 years ago, as an 18-year-old, but most of his appearances between 2014 to 16 came off the bench. The 2016-17 campaign saw him make 25 appearances, which included 9 starts, as he made a favourable impression and began to push twice Six Nations title medalist Lloyd Williams as first-choice scrum-half. Tomos Williams went up another level during the recently completed season, ousting Lloyd as then-coach Danny Wilson's favoured pick, starting 7 of their 9 matches in their charge to glory in the European Challenge Cup. He donned the number 9 jersey during the semi-final success over Pau at Cardiff Arms Park and in a thrilling final win against Gloucester in Bilbao, scoring an opportunist try to spark an unforgettable fight back. Tomos Williams celebrates after touching down for Cardiff Blues in their Challenge Cup final triumph over Gloucester. Image, Getty Images Europe. What type of scrum-half is he? Williams is quick off the mark, alert, and evasive runner who has a rapid pass and possesses an improving kicking game. Defensively in training, if we ever want to work against footwork, we use Tomos, said Hodges. He's got exceptional feet, he's very quick and one of the fittest in the squad. What sets him apart is his speed off the mark, his footwork and the individual threat he can bring to a game around the ruck. Does he remind you of anyone? Yes, a certain Rob Howley was a master in sniffing out tries, and Williams appears to have the same predatory instincts and pace that allows him to spot and capitalize on openings or weaknesses in opposition ranks. They're similar in stature, and the wiry Williams is deceptively strong, squirming out of a couple of tackles to wriggle his way over the try line during Wales's scrappy 22-20 success over South Africa. And it was his charge down of an attempted clearance by the Springbok replacement outside half Robert Dupuis as the clock counted down that enabled substitute hooker Ryan Elias to snatch the spoils by pouncing for a score. Rob Howley's opportunist poacher's try claimed Heineken Cup glory for Wasps against Toulouse at Twickenham in 2004. How highly does Gatland rate Williams? Head honcho Gatland and Howley have been keen on the Blues prospect for a number of years, with their interest rising following his exploits at the U20 World Cup, but injury derailed his chance of making the senior tournament later that year after Webb was ruled out. His first involvement came when he is called up as a replacement for Webb, who had suffered another injury during the 2016 Autumn Internationals, and he was in the squad for last June's tests with Tonga and Samoa. He didn't make the matchday 23 of Robin McBride, who was head coach for the tour with Gatland and Howley on Lions duty. It was the same story in this year's Six Nations, but Williams' performances reached another level during an impressive run into the end of season, and he was rewarded with a Wales debut. How good was his Wales debut? Given that Wales were heavily beaten up front in the second half, he coped admirably behind the retreating pack in difficult wet and slippery conditions. There was an awkward moment. He left the ball in a ruck for too long and Wales were rucked off it by the Springboks, but he will learn from it. Williams' work rate was high and he covered back to save Wales from conceding a try, which highlights how well he reads a game. The charge down which led to Elias' try was his second in a matter of minutes, with his speed enabling him to put pressure on opponents. Of course, it's early days, but Williams appears to be not only a game breaker but a player with a good all-round package. That's what Gatland used to say about Halley when he coached him at Wasps, pointing out he wasn't the best at running, passing or kicking, but, when you added everything together, was some player. Tomos Williams of Wales scores try. Image, Hugh Evans Picture Agency. Will Williams face Argentina on Saturday? Gareth Davies will probably get the nod in the opening rubber of a two-test series, with head honcho Gatland likely to make changes and bring in more of his Scarlets contingent. But he will need to impose himself to keep Williams at bay for the second test. Gareth Davies is number one in the pecking order at the moment because of his extra experience, but he's not a nailed-on World Cup starter at this stage. Gareth Davies scores a try for Wales in the 2018 Six Nations defeat to Ireland in Dublin. Image, PA. Will Webb be missed at World Cup? Scrum-half is one of the most important positions in any rugby team, and Wales need a class operator. Webb was certainly that, having pushed Ireland star Conor Murray to be starting number 9 for the Lions in the commendable drawn test series with world champions New Zealand last year and impressing off the bench. The Toulon signing was an attacking catalyst for Wales and the Ospreys, and Gatland would love to have the option of being able to pick him for the World Cup in Japan. He can't because of the new 60 cap rule, but he now seems to have two very plausible options. Rhys Webb says goodbye. Image, Hugh Evans Picture Agency. Who will get Gatland's nod in Japan? That's a difficult one to call at this stage, with plenty of rugby to be played between now and then, with the number 9 jersey being up for grabs. Gareth Davies was Wales's leading try scorer at the 2015 World Cup in England. Webb missed that tournament because of an horrific foot injury, and is a dangerous attacker. What's agreed is Wales certainly need more depth in the position, and there's set to be a fierce battle to be Gatland's first choice number 9 at the World Cup. It will be fought between Gareth Davies and newcomer Williams. The Blues youngster set a benchmark against South Africa, and if he carries on playing like that, it will be hard for Gatland to ignore his claims.